Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. The blood-dimmed tide is loosed, and everywhere the ceremony of innocence is drowned. The best lack all conviction, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. W.B. Yeats, The Second Coming. My name is Howard Riell, and this is Riell Truth. You're listening to the American Freedom Network, streaming live around the world at AmericanNewsNet.com and on Facebook and YouTube and Tumblr and in the book Riell Truth Stay Angry. And of course, as always, broadcasting out across the Colorado Front Range on KHNC, Johnstown, Colorado, 1360 AM The Lion. Our call-in number is 877-254-7524. My friends, I started with that quote today because it's accurate. It's an accurate description of what's going on in the world today. Things are falling apart. The center cannot hold. The best of us lack conviction. We're more interested in having fun than in making any substantive changes to the things that matter. And the worst of us are full of passionate intensity. We see it again and again and again. Item from RasmussenReports.com. Despite an international uproar and condemnation by President Obama and nearly all those running for the presidency, Donald Trump's proposed ban on Muslims coming to the United States has the support of a sizable majority of Republicans and a plurality of all voters. A new Rasmussen Report national telephone survey finds that 66% of likely Republican voters favor a temporary ban on all Muslims entering the United States until the federal government improves its ability to screen out potential terrorists from coming here. Just 24% oppose the plan, 10% undecided. Among all voters, 46% favor a temporary ban on Muslims entering the U.S., while 40% are opposed and 14% have their heads up their asses. Trump, that was my comment. Trump, the frontrunner in the race for the 2016 Republican presidential nomination, proposed the ban following last week's massacre in San Bernardino, California. 65% of voters believe the two shooters in the incident were radical Islamic terrorists, those individuals who entered the U.S. without problem and escaped detection, despite several actions here suggesting they had violent intentions. 59% of voters believe it's too easy for foreigners to legally enter the United States. Only 10% believe it's too hard, while 23% say the level of difficulty is about right. Stop. The 10% who think it's too hard to come into the United States, they must be crack addicts. They must be meth addicts. I don't see how anyone living on planet Earth could say that. As for the nearly 1/4 of respondents, 23% who say, yeah, things are fine. Who knows where their heads are buried? But trust me, they are buried. The 66% of likely Republican voters who agree with Trump are correct. It's too easy for foreigners to get into our country, and among all foreigners, it's too stupid to contemplate to give unfettered access to Muslims. It's got to stop. Only Trump is talking about making it stop. That's why only Trump is the best choice for president. Item from CBS News. 35% of Republican primary voters support Trump, up 13 points since October and his highest level of support in CBS News polling. Ted Cruz at 16% has moved into second place, while Ben Carson, who led the October poll, has dropped to third. Trump voters continue to be more firm in their support. 51% of his backers say their minds are made up about him, compared to just 1/4 of voters who support a candidate other than Trump. Trump leads among both men and women. He has more than a 20-point lead among non-college graduates and a smaller lead among those with a college degree. Unquote. My friends, the supporters of Donald Trump are serious, intelligent, well-informed adults. And isn't that really who should be making the decisions in this country? Rather than simpletons, people who want to give away the ship, spend, give everything to people who have no right to be here in the first place. The chiaroscuro, if you will, the contrast between light and darkness, between right and wrong, is getting more clear with every passing day. And if you want to know who's doing the most to convince me that Muslims should not be allowed into the country? I'll tell you, not Donald Trump. It's Muslims themselves who demonstrate every single day, either through words or horrific actions, that they don't belong here. We can't have them here, and we need to stop them from coming here. Item from the Free Beacon. Congress is set to vote on Thursday, that's today, on what some have called an unprecedented right that would allow immigrants easier access to relocate to the United States, according to new legislation offered by a Democratic senator. The legislation, which is being offered by Senator Patrick Leahy, Democrat, Vermont, as an amendment to a larger bill governing nuclear safety, would prohibit the U.S. government from barring any individual from entering the country based on their religion. Unquote. I say Patrick Leahy should go. Not just from public service. Patrick Leahy should leave this country. He obviously doesn't give a rat's ass about America or about Americans. He's into playing politics and bringing Democratic voters. And so Patrick Leahy, and believe me, if you listen to Rush Limbaugh, he's been going on and on about Patrick Leahy for years. Calls him Leaky Leahy. Patrick Leahy is not a patriot, doesn't love America. He loves Patrick Leahy. And so to the voters in Vermont, those voters who have at least half a brain, you need to get rid of Patrick Leahy. Item from Breitbart. Islam will become the second largest religious group in the United States by 2050, according to a report from the Pew Research Center. Islam's spectacular birth rates, the relative youth of Muslims, and the increase in Muslim immigration into the United States combine to account for its accelerated growth rate in the United States. Stop! My friends, a lot of you talk about the apocalypse, about Armageddon, about the end of days. This is it! Right here, an explosion of Muslim population in the United States, which guarantees more explosions, an explosion of hatred, of violence, lack of assimilation, murder, rape. This is the apocalypse. So instead of whining about it or singing about it on Sunday, how about rolling up your sleeves and doing something to prevent it? It's Thursday. It's Riell Truth. I got lots for you today. Don't touch that dial. I'll be right back.
Howdy, folks. Have you ever thought about having your own backyard chickens? Now you have a source for certified organic, no GMO, no soy chicken feed. HappyHens.biz can even... How many times have you gone into a health food store and are confused as to the many different brands and prices on the same herbal supplements? You want to buy the cheapest, but you're afraid that quality is less. So you buy the most expensive. Truth is, the cheapest may be better. Green herb herbal supplements are all manufactured in our Wheat Ridge, Colorado plant at 4565 Kipling Street using the highest quality herb that we source from all over the world. Our 150 different herbal supplements are the most potent and safest in America. Our guarantee is your money back, no time limit. Just return the bottle empty or full, no questions asked. So when you come to our new location, look for our new name, Innocence Health, or call us at 888-765-HERB. That's 888-765-4372.
The Lord brings the counsel of the nations to nothing. He makes the plans of the people upside down. The counsel of the Lord stands forever, the plans of his heart to all generations. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord. The people he has chosen as his own inheritance. Psalm 33, verses 10 through 12.
Okay, guys. I'm not going to waste any time. I got an interview from yesterday. Bill O'Reilly, Donald Trump, Fox News. Let's go. You know, my friends, that is so much crap, I can't take it. In other words, give terrorists unfettered access to the United States because if we don't, it's bad. You've got to be kidding me. We've got to stop terrorists from coming here and terrorist supporters. That's thing number one. He's afraid that Turkey won't like us anymore or Jordan won't like it. First of all, piss on Jordan and Turkey. That's number one. Number two, I don't care if they like us. I care if they respect us. Under Barack Obama, they don't respect us because they know that there is a terrorist enabler in the White House, and he's a punk and they can push him around whenever they want. And most of what they want him to do, he'll do gladly. What Trump is talking about is making the Muslim world respect us, and nothing is more necessary than that. And as he points out, America pays for everything it gets from the Islamic world, Turkey, Jordan, etc. And if threatened with a lack of payment, they will roll over and do what we want. I don't understand why someone like Bill O'Reilly is arguing in favor of helplessness. There's nothing we can do. Let's not even try. That's the posture that's gotten us into trouble in the first place. We need the friendly Muslim nations. My friends, if you've been looking at the news, you see exactly how friendly the Muslim nations are, right? You see how friendly they are, right? We don't need them, number one. Number two, we don't need them to be friendly, and they will never be friendly. So Bill O'Reilly is so way wrong, it's pathetic. By the way, to the folks at Fox News, if you would like me to replace Bill O'Reilly on your network, you can contact me through the radio station. I'm listening.
I disagree. People have to be vetted. They have to be perfectly vetted.
But you can't insult the whole religion.
We're not insulting. This is about security. It's not about religion. This is about security. We cannot allow people to come into this country that have horrible things in their mind.
Right,
there's something
agrees
going
with that.
on.
I don't think you thought through the unintended consequences of banning an entire religion from coming to the United States. Just my opinion.
Yeah, Bill O'Reilly, who's a TV host, he's thought through all the consequences, but someone who's been running for president for many months, he hasn't thought about them yet. The unbelievable arrogance of the media elite, and he's one of them. Bill O'Reilly is one of them. Forget about the fact that he's on the Fox network. That only takes you so far. The unmitigated arrogance of Bill O'Reilly and his desire to fight to the death almost, to prevent America from defending itself, from taking common sense steps to defend our people from terrorism, is mind-boggling. He should be on MSNBC. All right, let's go back to this video. Bill O'Reilly, again, if I haven't made this point yet, I'll make it now, is a jackass. We're never, ever going to have the allies in the Muslim world that he thinks we should. They will never ally themselves with the United States of America any more than they will with Israel. It's fantasy. The Muslim world understands strength, not niceness, not political correctness. They understand strength. So when they bark at you, you got to wrap them on the snout with a rolled up newspaper, and that is when the Muslim world will stop barking. Bill O'Reilly makes millions a year, and he doesn't know this. I'm a schlepper, and I know this. And my friends, you know this. Thank God Donald Trump knows this.
How would you react?
Of course, Hillary Clinton wants Muslims in the United States. Why? Well, yeah, it's true that some of them will blow things up, and yeah, some of them will rape and murder, and some of them will commit mass shootings. Yeah, she knows that. But they'll vote for her, and they'll vote for Democratic candidates, so she doesn't care about the people who get raped. And this is the woman candidate. She doesn't care about the mass shootings. She doesn't care about the stabbings. All she knows is that it'll put money in her pocket and power in her party. That's all she knows about, all she cares about. And so America can go to hell as long as she gets what she wants.
This is both a shameless and a dangerous idea.
No, by all means, a better idea is to let people like this couple from San Bernardino, let's let them come here. Let's let untold hordes of Syrians whom we have never vetted, who cannot be vetted, let them come here. Great idea, Hillary. This is Hillary Clinton and the Democratic Party's vision for the death of America. Make no mistake about it. You can pretty up the language all you want. They're betting on and ensuring the death of America. This is the smartest woman in America, according to her.
All right, you say?
Correct. My friends, this is one of the stupidest canards out there in the arena of ideas today. We help ISIS by doing nothing. We help ISIS by playing PC games and saying, well, we're not going to pick out any one group of people. How you defeat ISIS is by killing the members of ISIS and the supporters of ISIS. You defeat ISIS by taking away their funding, which is taking away the oil from the Arab countries. Bill O'Reilly is on the same side as Hillary Clinton here. They're both urging us toward inactivity. Do nothing. Try and make them like us. Well, my friends, if you think Muslims around the world, Muslim leaders, Muslim politicians, Muslim military people are going to suddenly start liking the United States, well, I've got a bridge in Brooklyn that I want to sell you, and I'll give you a really good price. O'Reilly is dead wrong. Hillary Clinton is always dead wrong. And Donald Trump is completely right. The United States has to act with strength like the United States used to do. The reason we have millions and millions of people who don't recognize that is because the United States hasn't acted with real strength in a very long time. The Muslim world needs to respect and fear the United States like it once did. It never will under a Democratic president. Under Donald Trump, they will be spitless with fear. And if they're not, Trump will make them spitless with fear. And believe me, in the international arena, geopolitical arena, you've got to command respect. No one's going to give it to you. And being liked and being nice and being PC counts for nothing. You've got to be strong. You've got to command countries to respect you, especially Muslim countries, because that's the very warp and woof of their culture. Strength or weakness. We'll take a break. We'll be back.
Howdy, folks. Have you ever thought about having your own backyard chickens? Now you have a source with certified organic, no GMO, no soy chicken feed. HappyHens.biz can even deliver, or you can pick up. Call me, Tim, at 303-829-5948, or go to happyhens.biz for pricing and ingredients. At happyhens.biz, we love Happy Hens.biz. Or call us at 303-829-5948. Great Plains Power has been providing reliable electrical power systems in the Rocky Mountain area since 1992. Our systems rely on the sun to help make you self-reliant for your power needs. Solar energy can be steel to fit any situation, from complete power independence to backup power for the short term. Our expertise focuses on standalone power, but we have extensive experience with utility interactive systems as well. Custom tailored capabilities as modest as emergency lighting all the way to commercial scale power. Great Plains Power is a full service company. We service everything we sell. We provide and design turnkey packages, custom design system, and parts for do-it-yourself. With more than 20 years of specialized experience at your disposal, let us know what your power concerns or goals are. Reach us by phone or the internet. Call 303-239-9963. That's 303-239-9963. Or go to GreatPlainsSolar.com. And the Word became flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. John bore witness of him and cried out, saying, This was he of whom I said, He who comes after me is preferred before me, for he was before me. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 14 and 15. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed. This is the America News Network. The uniformed people agree to ask everyone to get involved in our community this holiday season. Whether it's a toy for a needy child, care package for military members, or giving a gift of life quickening blood, you can make a difference and directly affect someone else's life. This message is from Census, the uniformed people in Greeley. Call 352-2233. They're on the air because they care. Being one of the most admired outsourcing companies in America. Census.
All right, guys, welcome back to Riell Truth. Howard Riell at the microphone. If there's one criticism that people make about this show, it's that we don't talk enough about Islam. So I'm going to fix that now. I'm going to present Ann Coulter. Here she is giving a speech. You'll find this on YouTube, talking about your favorite subject and mine, Muslims.
The New York Times, Thomas Friedman, in a commonplace formulation.
So after listening to that, my friends, I'm still trying to figure out, why would anybody single out Muslims? I don't understand. Why are people picking on Muslims? I know they're religion of peace because I've had 2 presidents in a row tell me that. Item from longwarjournal.org. Al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula released a new video featuring a former Guantanamo detainee, Ibrahim Kosi, who's also known as Sheikh Kubayb al-Sudani. In July 2010, Kosi pled guilty to charges of conspiracy and material support for terrorism before a military commission. His plea was part of a deal in which he agreed to cooperate with prosecutors during his remaining time in the U.S. custody. Kosi was transferred to his home country of Sudan 2 years later in July 2012. So, my friends, this guy was in Al-Qaeda. They had him in Guantanamo. They let him go, and now he is once again a leader among the terrorists. But listen, I don't want you to get the impression that Barack Obama is working with or supporting or enabling the terrorists. Who would think that? Only a racist, right? Item from The Hollywood Reporter. Can group selfies advance women's goals? In an essay for The Hollywood Reporter, the famed feminist Camille Paglia urges social media packs to skip the, quote, tittering tongues out mugging of Taylor Swift, unquote, whose, quote, twinkly persona is such a scary flashback to the fascist blondes who ruled the social scene during my youth, unquote, and study, quote, the productive dynamic of male bonding, unquote. My friends, this is feminism. I'm old enough to remember the 1970s, 60s, and 70s when there were real feminists who believed that women were not free to make their own choices in life and that they should be free to make their own choices. Today, in 2015, feminists say, screw that, women should make our choices. Women should do what we say. And if they don't, we will attack them in the press. So when Rush Limbaugh talks about feminazis, you understand why. Item from abc.net.au. This comes from Australia. Hollywood heavyweight Harrison Ford has told ABC he hopes world leaders can, quote, finally do something about climate change as he launched a broadside at squabbling world powers. During an interview with 7.30, Ford said the consequences of inaction were dire. Nature will take care of itself. Nature doesn't need people. People need nature to survive, Ford told presenter Lee Sales. The planet will be okay. There just won't be any damn people on it, unquote. My friends, I remember Ted Danson saying that the danger to the environment would make it so that there were no humans left on the planet by the year 2000. That's your liberal, and that's your Hollywood intellectual. Item from the Washington Post. The super PAC supporting Jeb Bush is racing through its massive war chest much faster than money is coming in, spending close to $50 million in a record blitz that has so far failed to lift the former Florida governor's sputtering presidential campaign. The group, Right to Rise, has already gone through nearly half of its $103 million that it brought in during the first half of the year, records show. It raised only about $13 million in the 5 months that followed, according to a person familiar with the figure. That leaves the super PAC with about $67 million heading into the first 2016 GOP nominating contests. The sum still surpasses the resources of rival groups, but it's not clear whether Right to Rise's financial might will be enough to help separate Bush from the PAC, unquote. My friends, the only way Jeb Bush will separate from the PAC is if he drops out of the race and goes home. He is going nowhere. Depending on which poll you believe, he's got anywhere from 2 to 5% of support. Republicans recognize that he's a nothing, that he's a zero, that he brings nothing to the table, and that he would be yet another in a long line of disasters for America. Jeb Bush is done. He should get out and shut up. The Republicans are speaking very clearly. In fact, in poll after poll, Americans in general are speaking very clearly. They recognize that Donald Trump is a leader who's not afraid to say things that aren't politically correct, not afraid to attack the most difficult issues, and he's not afraid to get results for America and the American people. That's why Jeb Bush is all but forgotten today. Item from CBS19.TV, the U.S. Health and Human Services Commission will bus more than 1,000 undocumented immigrants to facilities in Ellis County and Rockwall counties as soon as Thursday, WFAA has learned. Unquote. My friends, the Democrats don't give a rat's ass what you or anybody else in this country want. Illegal immigrants are coming to your city. And if you don't like it, you're free to shut up. That's what the Democrats offer America. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Guys, if it seemed today on today's show as if I were somewhat perturbed, you got it. I am. I hope you are too. And if you're not, you need to ask yourself, why not? I'll be back on Monday with more Real Truth. Just like I tell my radio audience, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay angry. I'll see you.